Hey, enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language episode
The
597.
sexiest podcast on the network with bad mouse skills if anyone was watching live. Clicked a couple different scenes there. My apologies.
Yeah. Classic Tony.
Classic Tony. I did find
Mhm.
out, though, Brian, I can pop out the chat window here,
Oh, okay.
which
Well,
is nice.
that's
So I can not watch us, but I can still have the chat up, which I enjoy.
okay.
Yeah, just in case someone decides to join us.
Right,
Yeah.
right. hmm
Just put it
hmm
over our faces here because I don't want to see that either.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, I see. Action Bronson put up a new "Fuck That's Delicious" today.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that later. Yeah, it looks like its run is done on Vice, but he's posting like short, like this one's like 10 and a half minutes. They're short videos. He posted one about how he did a block party in New York and they made a bunch of really delicious looking food, and the line was insane for it.
I mean, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not free. I mean, the food was, whatever it cost. They didn't really show what it cost, but I saw money changing hands, so I'm assuming it wasn't
Yeah,
free.
definitely probably not free.
Yeah. Looked fantastic though. But,
I mean, I do love me some food. Speaking of,
This week's is about cannoli.
a
So,
fucking cannoli.
yep.
Speaking of food,
Mm.
boy, am I really sick of it costing forever or everything to buy fucking groceries right now.
Yeah, I know.
Bro, when the kids came over for dinner on Thursday,
Yeah.
we did a nacho bar, just DIY nachos. That's right. Oh, brilliant brownie pan idea that I told you and Cheeto about.
Is this a food hack? Did you make a TikTok about it?
I did not. I'd even capture an image to send to you guys, and I
Damn it.
apologize.
Way to drop the ball,
I know,
Tony.
right? I'm terrible. But just for the groceries to make DIY nachos.
Yeah.
Granted, I bought 2 extra chicken breasts that I put in the freezer.
Oh,
How
dare
dare
you.
I? But
Yeah.
it was like $55, and that's at Aldi.
Right.
I wanted to murder everybody.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, it sucks right now.
I know. We had kind of stretched things a little thin, and we just recently went and did the old restock, and oh boy, because we were out like every protein. Like we had almost no proteins in the fridge or freezer. It was like, oh, this is gonna be a kick in the dick.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
got to go buy all the meats. Although I have been trying over the last, I don't know, while now to incorporate more like throwing beans or mushrooms and stuff like that to kind of cut down on the amount of meat for two reasons. One, just eat less of that, but also, mushrooms and beans are way cheaper than like hamburger
Yes.
is.
I'm about ready to make like fucking clementine chili and stuff.
Right?
Oh, it's so bad. Like that's actually
Yeah.
something I've been meaning to do is go to our little local veggie stand by your spot because unless
Yeah.
they've jacked up their prices, which I highly doubt.
No, I'll say this: the prices aren't as good as they used to be, but they're still way cheaper than the uh the grocery chains
Yeah, fair
are.
enough.
Although it's funny sometimes that like the last time I was in there and we needed, I wanted some romaine lettuce, and the only way that they had it was in a pack of 6
Oh my
romaine
god,
hearts.
you need a bandolier of
And
romaine.
basically, and I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, well, I mean, we've been eating salads every day. I put, you put lettuce on sandwiches and whatnot. We had taco salad, so that used up a decent amount. And honestly, I ate a salad a little earlier today, and that killed off the sixth one.
Wow.
None of it went
Did
bad. We
did
got
you do
through all
the
of
the
them.
TikTok food hack, Brian, where you chop it all the romaine off except the little nub and you put it in a jar of water and then you have like infinite romaine?
Oh, No, it's one thing that kind of sucks about where I live is, even if we put a garden, we have a very small area
You
we
don't
could put a
even need a
garden,
garden. You just need a mason jar
I
and
know,
Jesus magic, I
I
guess.
know. Well, that actually kind of leads me into
Oh,
something I wanted to talk
fuck yeah,
about
let's do this.
anyway, which was TikTok stuff. Because, various people will post in groups I'm in. They'll be like, here's a video, and it's from TikTok a
Yeah.
lot of times. And I'm seeing them on Instagram too. So this isn't exclusive to TikTok. But why are people so fucking aggressive in the videos? Like they gotta like lunge into the camera to like this one guy where I saw that hack about the romaine hearts, or like he did one the other that I saw recently that was like toilet paper tubes, how you can use, cut them in half and use them to
Well, I
plant
thought I was
things
going to
in.
talk about making prison pocket pussies. Not,
No. I mean, that's on the other, that's his other channel.
that's on his OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's on the After Dark one. But it's just like these people like they lunge at the camera at the beginning of the video,
like, hey,
and it was like,
we
why?
gotta get your attention.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For anyone watching on YouTube, you're probably terrified by
right?
Tony now, but yes, exactly. And I'm like, why do you need to be so aggressive? Like, you just like calm down. Like, what are you doing? Like, if you started a conversation with somebody like that, they'd be like, and want to run.
Or just tase you immediately.
Yeah, like why do I want to hang around when you're being so aggressive about toilet paper tubes? It's like calm down, man. Like shit.
Right.
But that's not actually my main point. That was just something I thought of, like just
Side
popped in
point.
my head. But what is it with so many of these fucking TikTok food videos where these people are using the worst sanitation possible while cooking? I watched one in one of the Twitter groups. I mean, a woman posted one where this woman's making a meatloaf. And she just basically puts everything, like she just dumps Ritz crackers in this container. Then she just puts 2 slabs of hamburger down, dumps a bunch of seasoning and whatever else on top of it, and then mixes it with her hands, which that's fine, right? So I don't know why you wouldn't break up the crackers first. That's just silly. But because a lot of people use breadcrumbs inside their meatloaf to, bind it as well as the eggs. But she was doing like she's cracking the eggs right over the top of the food, which I guess is fine. But I've always been one to crack my egg separately and then dump it onto the food, so I don't, it minimizes your chance of
Put a
shells
surprise
in
in
the
there
food.
for somebody.
Yeah, but that one wasn't the most egregious thing. Like, dude, she's like just taking handfuls of like brown sugar and shit like that to put on top of it or whatever. But she doesn't wash her hands in between any of this, handling the hamburger, and all this, and she's just touching everything. And I'm like, you've just contaminated everything you touched.
So I have a theory for you. Well, yes,
savages.
Yes, savages. People are stupid in general.
This one's not even the worst one. I don't know, real quick, if you've seen the one where the woman makes like macaroni and cheese in the sink.
Of course I have.
Oh,
so,
my God.
In my opinion, on Reels and Shorts and TikTok, there's a certain sector of people that make food videos just for people to get angry about.
That's probably
because,
true.
If you have 8,000 people reacting to you being an idiot, making meatloaf in the sink or whatever, making cat litter fucking no bakes.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's just going to drive up your numbers too. Because I've done reaction TikToks to videos before, but mine are more like, oh, that's a sweet technique. I'm not like, you idiot. But I've seen a lot of people I think actually former double enthusiast guest S. Anthony Thomas has gained a lot of traction on TikTok because he's doing a lot of reactions. People love reaction videos.
I noticed that. Yeah. Right.
And they're honestly easy to do. Yeah.
I
haven't done one in a while because typically when I do them, not going to lie, I'm usually like a couple beers in, sitting outside. And I'm just like, I'm just looking at TikTok and I'm like, oh, now I go, get up. Yeah.
Right. That makes sense because I just it's just everything in me that is any sort of a germaphobe just watching this, because whenever she just freehands the meat in there and I'm like, okay, no big deal, but then she immediately just grabs other stuff and I'm like, and first of all, like, let's be real, right? Anything in the dish is probably going to be fine because you're going to cook it thoroughly. Odds are you'll cook any cross contamination out of whatever. Plus, that's how you make meatloaf anyway. You slap everything into a thing, you mix it with your hands because nature's best
It's
tools,
true.
and then you do whatever and you bake it. But dude, she's touching like every package she touches sticks her hand right into, and I'm like, that's all fucking
Not
garbage now. Like that should all
not
be
in that
thrown away.
house. So those are just treats.
No, oh,
You like
God.
some meat juice,
I'm just
brown
picturing-
sugar, delicious.
I'm just picturing a chef or somebody watching something like that
Well,
and just being like, everything in your kitchen has to be thrown
there's
away.
a guy on TikTok that I enjoy, and he's a chef, and he watches other people make food, and he's a fucking asshole, and it's great. Yeah.
Right. Which makes sense. Similar to like one of the most popular things for a while was the like on Twitter, Gordon Ramsay, people would send him pictures of their food and he
does
reacts
that on
to
TikTok,
it, you
too.
know.
Of
Yeah,
course
well, I'm sure he does, but he did it.
Yeah.
He did it on Twitter before that, you know. So now it makes sense that he would do it on TikTok. So yeah, because who wouldn't want to see Gordon Ramsay yell at how somebody makes a, some disgusting looking
so he's like,
sandwich?
no. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
For some reason, I always use his phone
that
way up here too. I don't know why.
So he gets all of his hair.
Whatever's left up there, right?
I mean, he wants to make sure his hair's looking
fly.
good, you know.
Kids still say fly. All right,
sure.
Cool. I knew I was cool, guys.
I mean, maybe in regards to being on a plane or something. No, it's hard for me. It's similar to like when someone goes to eat on a whatever, and I'm just like, So it's hard for me to watch those because I'm so like, like when I'm cooking, if I'm touching raw meat, anything that touches that raw meat gets washed. Like I don't use it on something else. It gets washed. Even like if I'm going to be touching the meat again after it's cooked, I will wash the tongs and then use them. It's like I know I go too far, but it was like I'd rather go too far than just not bother at all. But yeah, the one with the sink is that one's one of the worst ones.
Yeah, I don't even.
But I think you're right. I think that one was 100% made just to piss people off.
People just do it just to make people angry.
Because it just doesn't make any sense. Like if you want a real hack for a big thing, to do your mac and cheese, and you buy one of those big disposable trays, and you just make your mac and cheese in that, because then you can do everything in one, vessel. But
what's sad is a lot of these people that I know make TikToks just to make people angry by doing like the worst DIY projects ever. Get so many views and are making a ton of money. They're making so much money being stupid.
There's a guy, I don't know if you've ever seen his account. I saw, again, he's been on Twitter forever, where he comes up with unnecessary inventions.
That guy's terrific. See, that guy I appreciate.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. But because his stuff is working stuff, but it is all 100% unnecessary. But he's not doing it to make anyone mad. He's doing it to just be silly, My biggest problem with the food videos is that it just makes me wonder if people actually eat the food afterwards or if it's just thrown in the trash. And if it's just thrown in the trash, then I have a really big problem with the scenario because
groceries be expensive.
Food waste, and and also, I mean, they're starving people. And I hate to see people just, like the other day on the news, and they're like, Pizza Hut's trying to make the world's largest pizza. And I'm like, oh, God. And they're like, well, it's not all going to go to waste. They're going to give it to food banks and all this. I'm like, yeah, but how good is that pizza going to be? I mean, I know it's still food, right? But it's like, you could just make an assload of pizzas and just give them away.
That's not the world's largest.
Yeah, I know. You know what it could be, though, is the world's largest donation of pizza.
Nah, that's not as cool.
Get it straight.
Yeah, we need a pizza that we can airdrop onto a city and it kills everybody.
Seriously, dude. I forgot how big this pizza is. I'll pull it up.
Let's find out. World's largest Pizza Hut pizza.
Oh, you're doing it too. Okay.
I got to see if there's a picture or something.
Wow, I just typed in like world's largest pizza and Pizza Hut, and all that comes up is Pizza Hut.
That's exciting.
I clearly don't know how to use Google anymore.
Well, I see pictures of it, and it's pretty stupid, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, of course.
I have stats on it back here, this other thing. But yeah, it looks enormous. Let's see here. Once everything was set, it was baked in pieces. That's not a...
Yeah, it had to be, because it was 14,000 square feet.
Go. Roughly 630,000. I love how it's... Okay, hold on. It says, 13,600 pounds of dough, almost 5,000 pounds of pizza sauce, 8,800 pounds of cheese, and then roughly 630,496 pieces. For it being rough, that's a very exact number.
Yeah, I'm looking at People. I don't know if that's what you got
I just
pulled up,
have it whatever Google gave me.
Okay. So this is on People, and it's like the same wording, right? It says, all those things you just said, and it says, and nearly 630,496 pepperoni. It's like, does that mean there's 630,495 and a half pieces?
Get your fucking story straight here, you pieces of shit. Jesus.
Yeah, it was baked using the Big New Yorker recipe, which I think probably was part of why they did it, because I think they're bringing back the Big New Yorker.
What?
I don't know if you remember that.
What?
Yeah.
Brian, they're bringing...
Yeah. Are you...
I just had a tear go down my eye.
So if they bring it back for sure, we should get one and do one of our dumb reviews with it.
I'm gonna wear 90s clothes and drink Michelobes.
I'll drink some Zima while we're doing it. Yeah.
And we'll watch some Attitude Era wrestling.
Nice. But it says, it was donated to several local charities after completion. 68,000 pieces of pizza were created.
That's a lot of pieces of pizza.
They assembled it in a convention center. Yeah, it is.
Oh my God. Yeah. Think about how much, like, someone walking in there the next day is just like, what is that fucking stink in the air?
I'm just picturing guys skating across the pizza,
Absolutely.
Like they just ice over it.
I mean, really though, the biggest important news here is the return of the Big New Yorker. That's all I learned today.
Well, I'm glad I could bring you some joy.
When's this coming back? Now I'm going in. Because you know what's crazy? Is since I don't watch normal TV, I don't know anything that's happening with advertising or movies or nothing.
Yeah.
So this is like breaking news to me.
I saw it on the internet somewhere. I don't remember. Oh, it was something something. It was like Pizza Hut bringing back highly demanded, old, like gimmick or something like that. And I'm like, wonder what I'm like, oh, are they bringing back the Bigfoot? No, it's not the Bigfoot. It
says January 31st. It's our 16-inch New York-inspired pizza that has 6 extra large foldable pieces. Yeah, baby.
I'm pretty sure we got to get one and see if it holds up.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it being pretty goddamn delicious, but I was also young, probably drunk.
Right. No, it was out before we were drinking. I'm pretty sure that
I don't know, man.
Like, well before.
My memories of it are going to Kelly's, watching wrestling, and getting hammered. And just eating Big New Yorkers, like making sweet love in the corner to it.
That sounds about it. Yeah, it sounds accurate. I always wondered where you went during wrestling. I just thought you had tummy problems.
No, that wasn't the problem.
I realized you were over there.
Definitely a problem with my pants.
You were over there. How come all the pieces of pizza have holes in them? There's a lot of ranch.
Oh, speaking of ranch, I heard today a guy I work with, a guy he knows, puts ranch in his chili.
Okay.
And he told me he's going to try it tonight.
Like he's going to put ranch in his chili?
Like he made chili, his boys came over, they watched football, and he watched him put ranch in his chili, and he's like, what are you doing?
Well, I'm assuming he's white.
No,
really? Oh, that's such a white person move. Like, oh, I'm eating something.
Yeah, like you flip open like a side holster. Oh wait, it's in your cargo pocket.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so I'll have a follow up tomorrow.
All
Or
right.
I'll have
I
a
mean, I
follow
got
up for
chili in
next
my
week.
fridge,
How about?
and I got chili in my fridge right now. I've been eating chili for like
Well,
3 days, which, by the way, I wouldn't suggest coming over. But
well, if you got some ranch, you can give us a whirl, Brian.
well, it'll be maybe I will, because then you and I can compare notes. Considering I don't like
Oh, okay,
ranch,
fair enough.
we can see. Or I can mention it to my mom. Maybe she'd try it and be our guinea pig too,
Like
because
sour cream for
she likes
days.
ranch. Oh yeah, I've used sour cream plenty of time. I get it's really not that far off flavor
Right?
profile, you know. So I guess it would probably work. I mean, people use those packets of like the Hidden Valley Ranch packets to season a lot of stuff.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So like I know people slap that on like roasts and
Yeah,
stuff like
Mississippi
that.
pot roast.
Give it a little tang. Yeah, just give it a little tang and stuff. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It sounds weird to me.
And yeah. Yeah, it's one of those. I think it'll probably sound weird, but unless you go like heavy-handed, you're probably not gonna. It's like putting chocolate in your chili. Like you notice a little bit, but it's not like, oh my god, this is chocolate.
I drop Kit Kats in
My
mine.
guess would be it'll be similar. Yeah, I put Charleston
Hell
chews
yeah.
in mine. Every once in a while you're like, that's not a bean.
Gross.
That's a delicious
Well,
Charleston
I want to
chew.
rewind real quick to the Big New Yorker. What do you think
Yeah.
this is
Oh,
going
boy.
for? How much do you think it's going to cost to get a Big New Yorker?
Oh, that's a good question, because like a large pizza at Pizza Hut's probably like $15 now. So I'm gonna say $20.
I doubt they have it
Yeah.
listed on their website.
Yeah, they probably don't just yet, but because it seems like back in the day it was like $12 or $13, but we were like, hey, it's a big pizza.
Hey, fucking Big New Yorker. Like, okay,
Right.
so it's a 16-inch pizza. I'm on their website right now, just looking, because I'm just curious.
Right, and 12 is a traditional large, so it's quite a bit larger than that.
Order now.
And it's foldable.
I really just want to see your menu. I don't want to order shit. All right, this isn't happening the way I was hoping it would. I got to go through the whole process of signing up, and fuck you guys. Until that Big New Yorker comes out, then I'm back on board.
Yeah,
I legit haven't had Pizza Hut in a very long time.
I have not either.
We were talking about that. I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago about.
Here I got an answer for you.
You said $20. You already know the answer. I'm going more. I'm gonna go. It's got to top out like 23.
We're both way
40.
off. No, we're way over. It's one order of the Big New Yorker extra large pizza comes with double pepperoni or one choose your own topping for a price starting at $13.99.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like Pizza Hut got way less classy.
Here's what we need to do. I have not been able to find all the flavors yet, but the Mountain Dew hard seltzer or whatever it is, the hard Mountain Dew, is out. You can buy individual cans of it. There's like 3 or 4 flavors. We need that.
Oh my God, this sounds like a terrible idea.
We need to have us a time.
This sounds like a terrible idea. I love it.
Yeah. I need to head up to like the different liquor stores and see if they sell them, because Kroger only has the original. I didn't get there quick enough, and apparently all the other flavors sold. So all they seem to have in single cans is original.
OG, yeah.
And because then I don't have to buy a whole, I don't have to throw $20 at it. I can spend like $6 or $8
for sure.
And we really probably aren't going to want more than half a can of each of that
we
anyway.
will want more.
Well, then that's okay.
I mean, we're gonna be eating Big New Yorker. We're gonna be doing the do. Next,
big dumb.
Yep, exactly. Next thing you know, we're gonna be on eBay looking up like Janko jeans. Fucking.
I might still have a
chain
Janko
wallets.
Get my Airwalks back
I'll be
out.
like going to Five Below and buying one of those like $3 penny boards they have and busting a hip.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It's gonna be a bad time. Gonna be all jacked up on fucking pizza grease and Mountain Dew booze. Mountain booze.
Wearing our hats all the way down to our nose.
I do have a thing. Yeah, exactly. I do have a thing though that we should, if we're doing this, there is something we should try.
Well, we're doing.
Is we should get some of the they make Mountain Dew still for real sugar, right? Okay, we should get some of that because wasn't it originally meant to be mixed with like bourbon?
It was meant to be mixed with moonshine. Remember, I tried this before because I heard that Mountain Dew was supposed to be mixed with whiskey, and I tried that, and I'm like, this is disgusting. And then we looked it up, and we're like, oh, it's supposed to be moonshine. That makes way more sense.
I don't have any shine. No.
Because I'm guessing the sweetness in the Mountain Dew is probably supposed to help counter the harshness. Of the moonshine. Like, I can't see it. I got no teeth.
I don't know what happened.
You been drinking that Dew Shine again?
Dew Shine. All right.
Remember that stuff?
Yeah. Well, I can't wait. I'm pretty excited for February now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the 31st, man. It's only 8 days away.
We should have a countdown.
Countdown to the big New Yorker. I know, good times. Yeah. So how's your week?
It's been pretty uneventful, if I'm being real.
Excellent.
I mean, despite the cough right there, been way better. Like I was telling that to Michelle when I got home from work. I was like, today was the first morning I woke up. I didn't like hack up some sort of gross anomaly. It's lovely. But then all day at work, it's so loud and I do so much talking that I'm all fucked up now, of course.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not as bad as it was in the past.
You know what's straightening you out? Oh,
shot of big New Yorker grease.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Now we're talking. Fantastic indeed. Yeah, no, it's been all right, though. I mean, like I said, Leah hung out with us over the weekend. That was cool, but, things are tight for us right now because the food's so much and my work's slow. So no real fun extracurriculars.
Yeah,
I did buy. I can't remember if I told you. I did buy the parts to make that beer prod. Yes. I just haven't put it together yet. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did because I don't want to go outside.
Right. Yeah, you missed your window on that probably for a little bit because we had that day like right after we recorded. It was like 50 for like, and then 45. I think the day after that.
Yeah, fucked up.
No, it's all trash. It's just gonna be cold now because it's about to be February, and February is the 1 month up here that you for sure, if you can avoid being up here, that's the month. Sure. Because February is usually like if we have a mild January, February is like hold my beer,
right.
Like. So, and we're gonna just before the end of January, we're finally gonna get some measurable snow. We've had a pretty much snowless January.
I was honestly not real impressed yesterday morning when I woke up and looked out the window. I was like, what is this bullshit? I just was not expecting snow.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't much. It was, just a couple inches. No big deal, but still garbage. Yeah. I heard there was like my neighbor was saying that there was some ice and stuff kind of under it. So she wasn't even screwing with doing the driveway, like her driveway and stuff. Cause she's like, it's slippery. Huh. So I don't know. I didn't go out and do ours. My shoulder's been kind of fucked up lately.
Yeah, I didn't do ours either. Cause I looked at how much it was and I went, nah, it's fine.
Yeah. Right.
It'll be okay.
Wednesday will be a different story. They're talking like 4 to 7 inches or something like that.
Not.
Me too.
Although to be fair, I guess like I was telling you before we recorded, I might be off work that day, which would give me it'd be a perfect time to just like put on my snow boots and then just play Call of Duty all day.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say frolic in the snow, but aren't.
Actually, it really sucks because Leah's got conferences Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I called today to schedule it. And they're like, well, we have 2:00, 2:30, or 7 p.m. And I'm like, well, I don't get off of work till 4:30, so I guess it's going to be 7. And then I found out that we might not be working. So,
Right.
boy, if we're not working, you better believe I'm going to be calling. Like, hey, give me that earlier
Yeah.
time slot.
Is it like
No,
via
you got to
phone?
go there.
Oh, that's so
So,
stupid.
like, they go to school in Monroe. So I'll be up
Yeah.
there. I won't
That's
get
why I
home to
said
almost like 8:30
Jesus.
because, it's a
Yeah.
long conference. Yeah,
Yeah.
every student's like a half. It's a whole thing. It's all right, though. What
Right.
are you going to do?
Yeah. But why can't they just do that via Skype?
Because it's Monroe. They don't have technology up there. What do I got to do?
Yeah,
Send a
okay.
Skype Raven?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I,
It would make
yeah.
the most
All right.
sense to do it virtually.
I know I've got an appointment Wednesday up at with my social worker, but I'm probably going to reschedule that. Just even though it's only a couple minutes up the road, it's like I just have no want to go out if it's going to be snowing all
Right.
day.
Yeah, I get
So
it.
I'll probably either that or I'll just switch it to a phone interview or a phone conversation. I do have that option because it's the year 2023.
Not in Monroe, my dude.
I know. I've been up there. I've been in that
Oh,
Walmart.
God, that Walmart. I haven't been in that Walmart in a long time, and I'm a better man
Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah.
Boy, I've seen some hazy shit up there.
Well, I mean, of course you have.
It
It's
is
the
the
Walmarts.
Walmarts. Oh, it's
Yeah.
wow. But yeah. Huh?
You should have years ago before they built the new one, because the old one was way more hick. And because at the time they had a Target up there. So Target, all the people who aren't hicks went there, and now that Target's gone up there, everybody goes to the Walmart. And I think that, the hick is kind of spread,
It's yeah.
So you've got some hybrids in there.
Hybrid hicks.
Yeah. But oh man, before, like when we go up there, I mean, seriously, there were times where I'm watching people and their kids get out of the car, and it's the same exact reaction as when you go to like Disney World or Cedar Point. Like you're like, this is like their weekend trip is we're going to the Walmart.
I mean, wow. Wow.
Yeah. And it's like, oh boy. I mean, hey, whatever. I mean, when we were kids, it was exciting to go to the store sometimes. I mean, I get it.
I don't know if I've ever been excited
adults,
to go to like a, what do they call those? Like not a department store. Is it a department store?
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Toy Store was a different story. Then sure you're excited, but
or like,
oh, hey, we're
like I get excited now. It's like, oh hey, want to go to Bass Pro? Like, yeah, look at the fucking stuffed animals and tap at the fish. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Take a swim.
Yeah. Sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just remember pointing it out to Jen at the time. I was just like, these people are like excited that they're going to the Walmart, and she goes, I know, and I was like, this is so weird, because you just don't see that very often. Although, in fairness, look how excited people get about going to Target.
I don't get it.
There's no, I know, but there's a lot of people that are like, oh man, like I'm going to Target. It's like, calm down. It's a store.
I mean, the only time the last time I went to Target, I was excited for one reason, and that was because I was a little sleepy, and I was like, oh, they got a Starbucks in here. Fuck yes.
Oh, so you weren't at the one by me then, because that
No.
one for sure doesn't. Yeah. I'm actually a little surprised it doesn't. Oh, no, never mind. Kroger has one.
Dude, it's Starbucks. Who gives a shit? They'll pop up anywhere.
Yeah, you're right. They put one in between them for the walk, in case you're walking from one to the other. Halfway there, man, I could go for a coffee.
Get a halftime latte.
Yep.
Mm.
I'm sure that is the real reason, though, that there isn't one in that Target, is because there is one in that Kroger. And that Kroger is the better location of the two for a Starbucks.
Right. For sure.
But still, although, during COVID, I wish it wouldn't have been there, because people were like, oh, I can take my mask off and just drink my Starbucks all around the store.
Slap the hot coffee right in her face.
And yeah.
Yeah, we're having
It's like,
and I mean no spoilers. We're having some severe
right.
flashbacks though watching this last season of The Boys.
Yeah.
Boy, is there so many parallels to real life. Some of the things happening are like, PTSD. Oh, Cheeto just
Yep.
emailed it his Q and a W answer.
All right.
And so says the chat.
All right. Sorry, Cheeto. Too late.
Oh, he's heading for Derek's beers. Catch up soon. Not allowed.
No.
All right, buddy.
All right. Seriously. Wow. I mean, Derek should get in the car and just come up here real quick.
Road trip.
Doesn't take that long. Road trip. Grab some sodas.
Yeah, some road sodas.
Yeah. It'd be all right.
So, Peanut got hacked today. And
for those who don't know, Peanut is Tony's
Yes,
brother-in-law.
And it is one of the worst fucking Facebook Messenger messages I've ever gotten. It just shows me what a scumbag these hacker people are.
Right.
So he never sends me anything on Facebook. That's why I knew immediately, right? And I got a message from him at like 4:00, which I already know he's at work. And it says, "Look who died in an accident. I think you know him. So sorry." And then a link. Are you fucking kidding me?
Man.
What are they doing?
Well, I mean, you know, if you logic this out, right? Like the circle of people that Peanut knows is got to be really small. It almost have to be like family and maybe a few others. Yeah. Right? So if somebody were to have died that way, it would be also, and he wouldn't be so generic. I would hope also he wouldn't be so cold as to, hey, here's a Facebook message that somebody died.
Yeah, exactly. Let me send you this Facebook message, basically an obituary.
Right? Like shit.
I just can't believe how low people stoop to.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, oh my God, who died?
Because it's clickbait.
Yeah.
It's literally clickbait, and you're right. So there's people out there that are like, oh my God, who? Instead of like I said, that first thought would be like, wait, we hardly even know the same people.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, legit, my first thought was, why the fuck is Brian sending me something on Facebook?
Right.
And then I read it and I went, I just screen capped it and texted him, bro, you got hacked.
Yeah. Well, it's like us, right? Like, if one of us gets a certain message, we immediately will go, hey, this isn't real, because we know what we send each other.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I sent you a thing that was like, dude, big New Yorker, you'd be like, absolutely, this is Tony.
Completely open that no matter what, and probably open a virus.
Yeah, for sure.
But it probably also was still from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you got so excited from seeing anything about the big New Yorker, you didn't vet it first. You just were like, oh my God, and just sent it.
Bro, big New Yorker.
Yeah.
But if I sent you a link for like, bathroom trash can ramen recipe,
yeah,
you're probably not clicking on it.
Yeah, or if nothing else, I'll probably at least text you first.
Yeah.
Like, did you send this?
Like, goddamn right I did. It's my video.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Sorry. Bathtub ramen. Now what you got to do is get in and mix it all around with your feet. Nothing mixes up ramen like your feet and buttocks.
There's nothing like squigglies between your tootsies.
Squigglies around your jigglies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yikes.
You ever have those ramens that have the they don't have the packet of powder, they got like the weird flavor ball?
Oh yeah, it reminds me of what was that called? That Mrs. Grass soup. Do you remember that?
Yes, exactly.
They had a little ball in it that was it was basically just a bouillon ball.
Yeah, well, like probably wrapped in some sort of gelatin. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Worst gusher ever, just saying.
Or best gusher ever. I don't know what.
Oh man. Good times.
But yes, I have had ramen that had that.
I don't know why. I was just picturing someone in a bathtub full of ramen and those things like floating around, like bath bombs. Yeah.
Oh, there's your video, my friend. Just a tub full of noodles and just bath bombs, and be like, no, these aren't normal bath bombs. This is chicken stock.
Yeah, this is chicken flavor.
Yep. This is shrimps.
This is scrimps. Yep. I would do sriracha, but pee hole.
Yeah, yeah. You probably don't want that going
No
on.
one wants that.
Well, I mean, the viewer
The
might.
viewer might. Yeah, that's true.
'Cause, it'd be fun to watch as that dissolves and then starts going in various orifices.
Orifices.
Hitting various.
Speaking of sriracha.
Oh, damn! I thought this was going to be a speaking of orifices.
No,
All
no.
right.
Just let me.
All right.
All right. I got my recent. I still get cooking magazines.
Yeah, really quick. Is the sriracha shortage over? I've been seeing it everywhere.
I have no idea. Honestly,
Okay.
don't know. I haven't looked into it.
All right.
I hope not, because I'm going to need some for this recipe. So, all right. What if I told you, Brian, that I was making spicy sriracha no-bake peanut butter bars?
Interesting.
Yes.
I mean, given my sensitive tummy, I would of course be leery of the word spicy in there.
Well, of course. I don't know how spicy though, because I've never had these before.
But taste wise, it sounds like it'd be pretty tasty.
I know. There's this whole little sector in my newest cooking magazine. It's like sweet and spicy, because Valentine's Day is coming up.
Sure.
And
got a picture of us in there. Yeah.
Hell yeah, sweet and spicy language.
Yeah. Oh, I just meant one of us is sweet and one of us is spicy.
Is that our tag
Pretty
team?
easy to figure out who's who. Yeah.
And yeah, that was a recipe in there, was for these sriracha peanut butter bars.
Interesting.
And at first I was like, the fuck are they doing? But then I'm like, sriracha's kind of sweet and spicy, and it kind of makes it feel like a Thai peanut sauce.
I was just going to say, a lot of people put sriracha on top of like Thai food. So, and there's a lot of peanuts used in that. So, yeah.
So I kind of want to make them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably should.
Probably should.
Unless there is a shortage of sriracha still, then I would probably, you got to savor all your drops of that.
I mean, let's find out. I don't know how to spell sriracha, I'll be honest.
SRI, I don't know. I got nothing.
Sriracha shortage update. Perfect.
Yes. Oh, geez.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Quit it. Knock your shit off.
I mean, hold on. I got to put sriracha shortage 2023.
Oh, yeah, because you never know otherwise. I hate when you do that, because now the internet's got, since it has all the information ever, basically, when you type in something and then you're reading something and go, oh, this is from like 2013.
Right.
Because something, whatever you're looking up has happened before, essentially. You're like, damn it.
Well, CNET posted an article 8 days ago that says there's a sriracha shortage. Here's 10 alternatives. All right. So apparently it's still a shortage.
I've seen it in the stores though. Like when we first talked about it on here, I couldn't find any for weeks. So I've seen it off and on. What's weird is I've seen like before it was pretty much like the only sriracha that I ever really saw in the Kroger and whatever was the red bottle sriracha,
the cock sauce.
Yeah. But I've seen another brand.
Oh yeah, there's been other brands popping up for sure.
Right. So I was like, well, but what I didn't see was the cock sauce bottle. But the others were around, so I don't know. People must just be afraid of trying the other. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I think once upon a time I tried like Trader Joe's sriracha because we were up there.
Yeah,
and it was good, but it wasn't cock sauce.
Wasn't the same, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Something about the cock in there, I guess.
Something about that cock, Brad. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh man.
Sad to hear there's still a shortage.
I know, right? It's crazy.
I didn't really figure it was over yet because that would have been a really fast turnaround. And much like a lot of things like that, those pepper sauces, you have to age them.
Right. Yeah. They ferment and age.
Yeah. You can't just, cut a crop down and go, here we go. You got to age it. So
crunchy French onion soup.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Yep.
Life is like a French onion soup.
It is?
If you get it too soon, it's crunchy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
I mean, I told you about the crunchy French onion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that you had some sort of context. I know people listening are like, huh?
Yeah.
That's okay though.
Well, there's still going to be people maybe listening going, huh?
Huh?
But, I mean, that's pretty standard.
Yeah, that's salty language in a nutshell.
Right. Huh?
Huh? I mean, that could be a shirt, just an asterisk, and then just huh?
Yeah. Wow.
Huh?
Eh,
But how about you? How's your time been?
Pretty boring. Yeah.
Man, we're
I was about to say,
killing it.
we're killing it. Yeah, I really have not gone and done much. Like I said, we went and restocked groceries, which meant, I hit up 3 different stores in the same day. Luckily, we just picked up groceries from Kroger. Then I went and got the old fruits and veggies from the market up the street, as you do.
As you do. Yep.
And then, went to the food town a little bit up from there because the bread we've been buying, the I almost said the brewery it's from, the I don't know, whatever it is, the company that makes it, they carry it up there, but Kroger doesn't carry it. So we just go up there and get bread. And there were a couple things that like Kroger didn't have, so I'd, clean up the orphans on the shopping list up there.
Oh hell yeah.
That kind of thing. Or get things that I can't get. Like I really like Food Town does their own like sweet Italian sausages, and I like buying those. So, I'll buy those when I'm up there too.
I mean, the Food Town by me, they make their own cheese balls.
Yeah.
Beef and onion cheese ball, my guy, with some fucking cracked black pepper Triscuits. Chef's kiss.
Nice. That's a good move.
Oh, so good.
That's a good move.
Yeah, I couldn't help it. I saw it. I'm like, what is it? What is this ball of deliciousness that I need?
I'm just picturing you just biting right into it like an apple. Just cram a cracker in your mouth.
Not as crunchy as I thought. Oh, you know what they do have at my Food Town by me? Cases of little hugs.
Oh.
Because, it's kind of in, more of a low-income area. Yeah, I saw it, and I was like, oh, I'm not buying it.
Right. That's funny.
Right?
Yeah, I remember having those a lot as a kid. There were times where my parents would buy those because they were so cheap.
Oh,
yeah. But then my parents, I think, were just like, why are we doing this? Kool-Aid's even cheaper. So why don't we just buy Kool-Aid?
I mean, Kool-Aid is cheaper.
Like the kid can mix his own Kool-Aid and drink it.
Plus, then you feel like a chemist.
Yeah. 19 cups of sugar, one
Dude,
packet of Kool-Aid.
I was always fascinated watching all that sugar just vanish.
I know. I'm sure you've seen that old video, like that little girl where she goes to dump the sugar in and accidentally dumps like twice as much in, and her eyes get huge, and then you just see it all just dissolve into the water.
Best Kool-Aid ever right there.
Oh man, yeah, she's gonna be high for weeks off of that.
It's like cold brew coffee. They recommend you put it on ice or cut it with something.
Yeah. Nah. You just shoot it right into your vein anyway.
Yeah, you need that high octane Kool-Aid, buddy.
Yep. Yeah. And Kool-Aid with caffeine. Perfect.
Dude, I'm gonna get some blue raspberry Kool-Aid, right? Check it.
Right. I need some Rocket Red.
And then I'm gonna double the sugar amount. And then I'm gonna pour it in a tray, and I'm gonna make blue meth. Let's cook. Just me with a Kool-Aid pitcher.
So I was just looking just for shits. To see if Kool-Aid ever offered a caffeinated Kool-Aid.
Oh,
but I do not see it. They actually, I think Kool-Aid has always taken pride in the fact that it's caffeine free. I think,
what a bunch of pansies.
Well, because they pushed it for years as an alternative to sodas and stuff. All right.
Kool-Aid could definitely have though. Vodka.
Oh, apparently. Yeah, it for sure can. All right, so I just found something from 2008. Oh, okay. So Weiler's, which I don't know if you remember, was the old like alternative to Kool-Aid.
It was the core of Kool-Aid.
Yeah, right.
For you G.I. Joe fans out there.
They offered some energy. One's called Energy, basically. but it was pretty much like just packets, like those individual ones where you put it in like a bottle of water or whatever.
Right.
So I just, at some point I could just see, like, for big kids like us, I mean, look at Mio now. There's Mio with caffeine
That's
in
true.
it, and I always have some just in case. I'm just like, hey, I want a little shot of caffeine here. I can just squirt a little of that in my water. And,
Rub it on your gums.
yeah, basically, I just squirt it right in my mouth. Oh my God! Speaking of, the other day when I was at Food Town, as I was walking in, I look in this truck that was sitting there, and there's this guy listening to. It sounded like some stupid, basically some version of like Fox News, but it was radio, and it was probably just Fox News radio. And he is sitting there, and I see in the cup holder of his truck just a giant can of Easy Cheese.
That was the last can I was expecting.
I didn't see any crackers. So now I'm just like, God, I don't want this story. Like, does he just sit there and squirt the cheese in his face, or does he have crackers on the, like a box of crackers down on the floor or something? Or...
I mean, if I'm a betting man, I'm guessing he drives around and he just like a fucking savage.
That's what I was thinking too.
Oh my God.
Just picturing this guy going around listening to how immigrants are taking his job and, squeezing cheese in his face.
Cheese.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, man.
I don't trust aerosol cheese, Brian.
No, probably not. It's a weird thing.
Wow, that's bizarre.
Yeah. I remember when we were kids and it came out and we thought it was like the coolest shit.
Absolutely.
But then you have some. Do you remember the bacon flavored one? How horrible that was?
Yeah, they did. They basically rebranded that with Kong. You shove it inside your dog's Kong.
Yeah, that's exactly what it should have been, because that's what it smelled like, was a dog treat.
You like you like bacon strips?
Dude. Oh, that fake bacon.
Bacon?
Ugh, man, it was so bad.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Part of me wanted to kind of hang out for a while and just see if at any point he just, loaded his mouth up with cheese.
They should have just looked at the corners of his mouth. He was a little orange.
Oh, you're right. I should have. Yeah, probably were. Now, it is possible maybe whoever was with him went into the store to get some crackers or something, or more cheese.
You're giving that dude a lot of credit.
Probably. What, that he has a partner first?
Yeah, and he's using crackers like he's like making some sort of parking lot charcuterie.
Right. Yeah, you're probably right. He's just spraying it right up his nose or something,
Maybe he's like, he discovered that Easy Cheese is like best lube ever. He just sits in the fucking Food Town parking lot or wherever you're at and just, cheeses his meat.
Oh my. Makes his own cheddar worst.
Yeah, exactly. The worst cheddar worst.
Yeah, the worst. Yikes.
That would actually be a great name for like a sausage truck. The Worst. WURST.
Yeah. I'm sure
somebody
that, right?
If nobody has it, everybody's an idiot.
Yeah, if no one has that, I'm pretty sure you're right that that's your new food truck.
Absolutely.
The worst.
The worst.
Just nothing but sausages.
Yep. Sausages and bad attitude.
Yeah. And spray cheese.
Of course. As is tradition.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, God.
It'll be like upside down cans mounted on the trailer, so it's like self-serve spray cheese.
Oh, dude. So, all right. So I'm picturing like one of those oxygen bars or like a hookah bar. It's just
spray cheese.
You just take the thing, it's just got a nozzle that they can swap out for each person, and you just, what would you like? I'm gonna give me that cheddar bacon.
Wait, bro. I don't know how I don't know how it's never occurred to me. It's just pressurized cheese. You just get like beer taps.
It's coming out like it's an ice cream machine.
Oh, God. Oh, it's so bad. Why does this have head on it? Oh, it must have blew the cheesecake.
Yeah, sorry, we got to replace it. They just wheel a big wheel in there.
It's so
It just
vile.
goes into like a grinder, that
Just
smooths
a
it
giant
out,
slap
basically.
chop.
Yeah. Yes.
What are references can we come up with?
Yeah. Right. Jeez, that'd be horrible. Hey, let's go check out the Easy Cheese bar.
Like what?
Oh. They've got 31 flavors.
Like, dude, I'm getting a flight.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's vile.
I mean, you really could though. I mean, because you could come up with different cheeses that especially with it being the easy cheese, you could have special flavorings for different holidays. Like here's our cranberry cheese, and here's our pumpkin spice cheese.
Here's our Jig's dinner cheese.
Right. Here's the old Thanksgiving dinner one, the one that tastes like a Christmas tree.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, it's so gross. Do you want a rim on that? Just pine needles.
Yeah.
Pine needles and asphalt crumbs.
Man, they have a couple for cats. It's got like the tuna and cheese one.
Oh God, so vile.
Instead of having like a puppuccino, they've just got
Bro, tuna and cheese. That's something my dad used to make. I remember as a kid being like, "This is like some gourmet shit." In hindsight, I don't think I can eat fucking tuna on an English muffin with hot cheese on it ever in my life.
Dude, what's really funny is I have a tuna and cheese story that directly relates to your household.
Oh, really?
Which is,
are you forever scarred because of it?
I am.
All right.
And it wasn't your dad though. Your mom made us tuna melts one day.
Oh, yep. There you go.
And they were fine, right? Like we ate them, whatever. But I remember like leaving your house and I got so sick. Like I just vomited everywhere.
Hot cheese and hot fish? That's weird.
I know, right? And to this day, like canned, or pouched tuna.
Yeah.
I like if somebody around me is like, "Hey, do you want a tuna fish sandwich?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'll tell you when I smell it." Because if I smell it and I instantly want to go throw up, the answer is probably not.
I don't know why.
Yeah. But there are some days where I'll smell it and be like, yeah, I think I can handle it today. So yeah, to this day, I can't. And the idea of warm tuna fish, oh good, no.
Yeah, like
right out.
Yeah, I like when people make like I said, it's something as a kid I remember going, this is fucking delicious.
This is fantastic.
Like tuna nuda. Tuna
totally nude casserole.
Hell yeah. Live nude casseroles.
That's what we were talking about earlier with the ramen, I think.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, tuna noodle casserole. I remember as a kid being like, "This is the shit."
My mom used to make it all the time.
I don't think I can eat it anymore.
My sister, when I moved in here, my sister would make it occasionally because she grew up on it too. Yeah. And when she'd make it, a lot of times I would smell it and I'm like, nope, or I'd try it and be like, I can't do this. I just can't do this. It's so weird how just that one time getting sick off of that tuna fish just almost ruined tuna fish for me.
I mean, that's just what, like tuna, like soup, the noodles, basically.
Yeah,
like cream of mushroom or something.
Yeah, it's like egg noodles. Yeah, exactly. I think it's like cream of mushroom, tuna, and like cheese.
God damn it, Brian.
Yeah, doesn't even actually.
Or
no
white
cheese,
people food sucks.
Sure does. Sure does. Oh man, yeah. It's funny because there was a question going around on Twitter where it was like, what I don't remember exactly the wording, but basically, what food dish traumatized you as a child? And my answer was the tuna melt because it completely ruined a food for me.
Yeah, I mean that is some trauma.
And it sucks because like when you're trying to eat healthy or whatever, it's like tuna is a good.
Oh, dude, I'll crush tuna. I could still eat tuna for days. I had tuna fish sandwich for lunch.
See, that's when I can't even do that most of the time. Like I can't even like just have some tuna. Even if it's just just a little mayo and celery and onion or something like that. I can't even do that with like crackers or celery or on a sandwich. I can't at all.
I need you to settle debate now. All right, so tuna salad, right? Like for sandwiches. Pickles, yes or no?
I've had it both ways. My mom, I believe, used to put pickles in it, so I kind of got used to it. So it really doesn't. It didn't bother me. I'd eat it
Okay.
either way.
Apparently, I'm some sort of abomination.
Well, I mean that's accurate, but
Because I've always put pickles in my tuna, and I'm like, that's how you make tuna salad. And
right.
Michelle's like, oh, Tony made tuna. This is awesome. And she went to have some, and then she texted me like, and then I bit a pickle.
I thought you liked pickles.
She does, just not in tuna.
Just not in tuna.
Yeah,
Okay,
I guess.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I guess what you could do to satisfy both is, you could dice up the pickles and set them aside and then mix them in yourself, for yours, or
Why
just
would I do
tell her
that?
to bit. My mom, I think at times used to just use like if she didn't have pickles, but she had like relish, she would just put a little
that's exactly
relish
what I did. I put a
Yeah.
spoonful relish makes the medicine go down. Am I right?
Right. Yep. So I said I grew up eating it either way, so neither one really. I don't really have a preference, but I if I were making it, I'd probably lean toward pickles because I just it's it's just how I remember it being made.
Right.
Like if I looked up recipes or something for it, then maybe I wouldn't, but otherwise I would. Speaking of recipes, I made. This is like nothing fancy, right? But it was something I made this week, and it's called. I don't know if you've heard of this. I guess it's big in New York. It's called a chopped cheese.
It's kind of like a cheesesteak, right?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you just take your you cook some onions down just a little bit in some butter. Put your ground beef in a skillet. You don't break it up like you normally would for like say sloppy joes or something like that. You just kind of leave it whole, season it with salt, pepper, garlic powder, I'm sorry. Then you start kind of mixing it up with the onions and butter and everything. And basically the recipe I saw apparently that people take like a hoagie roll and you just smear a little like mayo, or I thought I saw in the article I first read that they use like a mixture of mayo and ketchup. Basically, you make like a hamburger sauce,
right? Yeah.
Slap that across the toasted bun. Then you put and right as the meat's just about done, you put like for each portion you put 2 pieces of American cheese on there.
What if only you have easy cheese?
Well, that's totally
okay.
fine then,
Perfect. All right, good.
Yeah, right. The worse level of cheese, the better.
The more shame involved with the cheese.
It's funny. We've shit on American cheese enough, but I mean, American cheese for sure is the optimal cheese for shit.
Bro,
like
I made
of the melt
breakfast burrito over the weekend. American cheese on that bitch.
Yeah,
because it makes like some sort of cheese glue. It's amazing.
I know. Well, that's why I think it's perfect for this because, you've got all that meat that's kind of loose, and then that cheese over it kind of holds it together. You slam it into your roll, little like tomato, iceberg lettuce it calls for, and you're out the door basically. Super easy, basically similar to just making a hamburger. But I don't know what it is, but something about it, it tasted really good, and it tasted way better than just a plain burger. It was like a real change of pace, even though basically you're eating the same thing.
I wonder. You said the ground beef's like loose.
Well, you break it up.
So I wonder if there's more like
nooks and crannies.
Yeah, nooks and crannies that get kind of browned up and flavored.
That's what I'm thinking too, because I think by seasoning the whole brick of beef before you separate it, as you're mixing it up, you're really putting the seasoning all the way through. Like you said, rather than on a burger, it's pretty much top and bottom. You salt and pepper or whatever. So it was really good. Like, my mom, she was a big fan of it too. So, it's for sure. And easy enough that I just told you the recipe without
telling me the recipe.
Looking,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's that simple to make. But yeah, the idea is similar to a cheesesteak or a sloppy Joe kind of thing, however you want to look at it. But it was tasty. I was pretty happy with it. I will say this. I only had romaine lettuce. You really need the crunch of the iceberg. Like, it needed some crunch. So either you got to put like some fresh onion on the thing, but you've already got onion cooked in it, But I mean, I'm not a person who cares. I'll eat like onion on onion. So
you just need that crunch, like texture difference.
You need a crunch. Yeah, because I toasted the roll, and that had a little crunch to it. But it was like you really were missing a little bit of a crunch to it that I can see where iceberg would give that the romaine didn't.
Right.
really. So yeah, if you go to make it, iceberg is for sure the move. But whatever, taste wise, you don't have to have it. And I imagine you could, if you wanted pickles on it, I'm sure pickles would be delicious on it too. You could just dress it however you dress a hamburger,
Tuna and
basically.
cheese.
But tuna and cheese right on, smeared right
Oh,
across
yeah.
the top is the barrier. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. I read an article about how these are like super popular, I guess, in New York or something like that. And I looked, I was like, that looks so easy to make. So I was like, well, time to buy some. The only problem I had was the rolls that I bought were like called steak rolls, and they were split all the way through. And really, you want one that's kind of a hinge,
Right.
so you can kind of schlep all the stuff into the crease, now because ours were, although that, like I said, that cheese holds things in place, so you didn't really have a lot falling all over the place.
See, I kind of feel like if you slapped all that goodness inside a tortilla and then kind of like grilled it shut on your pan,
that would probably be delicious. Also, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Hey, sorry,
Calm
I get
down,
fired
man.
up by
Calm
good
down.
food. You know that.
Calm down. Yeah, apparently, yeah. I was just looking because I was going to post a recipe in here. The recipe I had, the only thing that sucked about it was that it doesn't tell you, like it says in the instructions, right? It's like, when you put the beef in the skillet, season with salt, pepper, garlic powder. But when you look at the ingredients, garlic powder is not listed, so you don't know how much you're supposed to use. So I went conservative with it because, I didn't want it to be crazy.
Just in case, yeah.
Yeah. So I will say I probably could have put a little more in there, but I just, like I said, I didn't want to risk anything. I didn't want to ruin it by overpowering it.
I mean, my tuna abomination with pickles I made, my garlic powder has like giant fucking holes, and I got a little aggressive. So you crack open the top of that lid, and it's like you're getting punched in the face by a garlic clove.
Yeah, yeah.
But whatever.
See, this recipe I'm looking at here, they use sriracha with the mayo. So I imagine you could go that route if you didn't want to go ketchup too. That I can see where that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, sriracha mayo is my jam, actually. Big fan.
Yeah. Right.
I keep that in my cup holder.
In a pressurized container.
Yeah.
Like those, those foamers. Like if you watch Top Chef, they use the foam thing cans all the time. Well, they never work, but they have them all the time. Yeah. I was looking for vegan chopped cheese. What? Stop
Get
it.
out of here, stupid vegans.
Oh, well, I guess you could if you made it with mushrooms. It'd still probably be really good,
fuck
actually.
Off. Get out of here, vegans. Fucking go chew on a tree, you losers.
Wow, that's aggressive. Damn, Tony. Man.
Go kick rocks.
Jeez. What's funny is different times I've been looking stuff up recently. A lot of times when you type in a food type, you'll find all sorts of recipes, of course, but most of the time, like the first ones that pop up are like Food Network or All Food or, like food websites that have been around.
The heavy hitters.
Yeah. But I've noticed with the chopped cheese, it didn't so much come up that way. So
would you get like, fucking Silvio sandwich page or something?
That's what I want, actually. I wouldn't be mad at that. I
agree.
Okay, so this is really funny.
All right, now I got.
I just figured, like, this one here is from Huffington Post, and it actually has like the history of the chopped cheese. But I was looking for like, hey, here's so and so's recipe, and they don't so much have a recipe.
I mean, now that I've got it pulled up, that's a pretty good looking
there's
sandwich.
Ketchup, right? Cheese and beef and onions, sliced tomato, yep, iceberg lettuce. That's it. Roll that some bitch up and cut it in half. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what the one I made was missing probably, is it didn't have, I didn't put any ketchup with the they don't even mix it in the video I just watched at this place that was making it. They just smear the mayo across and squirt some ketchup in there. So, which makes sense, right? Because to mix it ahead of time, that's a little too fancy for this sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
This sandwich is anything. I mean, it's American cheese, it's iceberg lettuce. You know what I mean? This is as least little amount of pretentiousness as possible on a sandwich. I'm sure you could take this sandwich to another level with some other stuff, but why?
I mean, this looks like what do they call them in New York? Bodegas. You know, it's like a convenience store that has a deli counter and all that. This looks like something that you could just pretty much everyone has a version of it or something.
That's where they're real big, apparently, is at those bodegas. That's why I said I saw a thing. I think it was the Huffington Post article, and I was reading, I was looking, and I was like, oh, that looks really easy to make. And so naturally, I was like,
like I'm on it.
I can do this. Yeah. I was right. I could do this.
It does look good.
So
I might have to. I might have to throw down on this.
And I will say this: like, you don't even really have to have like a hoagie roll. You know, like we had hamburger buns. I almost just did it with hamburger buns because you really could.
Right.
You know, I will say this: make sure you toast the roll though, because for the looseness of the sandwich, you want the firmness of that roll to hold up. Because I made one for my mom and she didn't want it toasted, and it fell apart way more. So, if you have a roll that when you toast it, it gets a nice, firmness to it that you can get, because you want to hang on to this sandwich too. This is one of those, like you and I talk about a lot of times, like once you pick it up,
you can't let it go.
No, you put it down, it's all over. You better go get a knife and fork, basically,
right?
Because it's over.
Yeah, all right. That sounds pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So I do need to find another recipe to see like how much. Like I said, to see how much garlic powder you're supposed to use, at least so I have a damn idea, and then I can just write it on, on the recipe I have. But let's see what this says. Teaspoon of garlic powder. Everything else pretty much looks the same. Yeah. I've even seen people making it with like using hot dog buns.
Oh, that would make sense.
But it's like I feel like a brat roll or really a hoagie roll.
I was saying, it looks like a hoagie roll is really the move.
You really want to go. I mean, especially for like guys like us, where we're gonna want a good sized sandwich. You know
who I wish we still who interacted with our show a little bit more would be Prado, because I feel like he'd be the one to ask about a chopped cheese. Yeah, and I suppose I could reach out to him on like Instagram.
Yeah, right. Okay, so since this recipe is basically the same one I had, but it has the garlic whatnot in here, I'll include this link instead. So I'm hungry for that.
Got a case of Hungies?
Hey there, we're Brendan and Joe. We love to create recipes and make you say, I'm hungry for that.
Is that the website?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know, but it's got the correct list of, although again, it does not say anything about ketchup. Which is interesting because like I said, in the ones I watched for where it actually shows like New Yorkers assembling these, they're squirting ketchup all over that roll too.
It just makes you think that there's not a set way, that there's multiple variations.
Yes.
Of the chopped cheese. It's like, Loki's in the multiverse, right?
Yeah.
There's different versions of chopped cheeses everywhere.
Yeah. Also, for the record, apparently it's called a chop cheese, like not chopped. But I see the people who are non-New Yorkers call it chopped cheese because it's like, listen, this sandwich is so basic, it doesn't have room for that extra PED on there.
Yeah, we don't need that extra syllable. Get out of here.
It's like shave ice versus shaved ice. It's the correct term is shave ice. So
I feel like the move for this is if you had a Blackstone flat top grill.
Yes, I said the same thing to my mom. I said the ideal way to do this would be on a flat top. That way you can get that. You can really get the spatula underneath, and just like the cheesesteak places, and just sling it right into that roll. Yep, because I did it with a spatula out of a skillet, and it was a little clunky.
Yeah, need that flat top action.
Yep. And next time I'll probably pull out. I got the big what do you call it? Like the griddle that goes over the burners.
Oh, nice. That'd be that'd probably be perfect.
Yeah, I'll probably go that road next time because you really do want room, And the recipe, the one I had before, it makes 4. So what you do is like once you get it all cooked up, you just kind of divide it and then slap the cheese on it. I mean, I didn't put cheese on all of it because it was just for the two of us. So I was like, well, we're gonna probably end up reheating the other, so I don't want to reheat the cheese.
I mean, if it makes 4, in reality, it makes 2. Am I right?
You're pretty much right. We each ate one and split one more. So I probably could have put another half of one away though. But I didn't. I chose to not be a complete savage.
Now, does your griddle have a little lip on it? Because
Yes.
you almost need like that back to get their spatula to.
Well, if not, I just use another spatula, I guess, to kind of help.
Oh, fucking
move
spatula akimbo.
Yeah. That's not how you work the grill.
I really need another good spatula.
Yeah.
The spatula talk, right? I can feel the eye roll happening when Michelle listens to this, because I'm always like, we'll be in the store, if I walk up the kitchen now, and I'll just grab a spatula and be like, this is a good spatula. I can't help
That's
it
really
though.
funny. Yeah. Well, it's like I've got this spoon that I use in the kitchen all the time, and it's shaped differently. I don't know. I can't really describe it. It's not like a typical spoon. It's got like a flat edge. Like the very top of it is flat, not rounded like most spoons. And then it's, rounded kind of on the sides. So when you scoop and stuff with it, and that flat edge is nice for breaking up like
You get a little
beef,
scrape to it too.
Yeah, right. So I love this thing, but like the top piece of it, it's starting to come off. And like we super glued it the other day, and it's like, we're hitting that point where it's like, man, at some point we may have to hang this up.
What's
and I'm
it made out of?
I think it's just a plastic spatula. It's a metal thing that goes into plastic. So that's why we tried heating it to see if maybe the plastic would kind of melt to the metal, but it doesn't hold for very long.
I almost wonder if you could buy like a big metal spoon and just trim the edge off, make it flat edge.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because that's really what I'm gonna miss that.
Yeah.
I think I might have another one because I think years ago my mom bought 2 of them. And I think she gave me one because I liked using it so much when she moved. So I think over in my storage I might have another one. But it's like the other thing I need to do is pull up the old
spoon.
Oh, for sure, yeah. The other thing is Google has that, what's it called, Google Lens or whatever it is, where it can identify things. I was like, I was thinking about that earlier. It's like I should try that and see if it comes up anywhere, because she bought it from. I want to say she bought it at like a flea market or something, though, so it's like the odds of finding them are probably slim.
I mean, I just put in flat edge spoon, Brian, and there's some options.
Okay.
There's some good. They got a Louisiana roux spoon. That's perfect because you got to scrape the bottom of the pan. It's metal.
Okay, yeah, this shape is similar. Yeah, but mine is made of plastic. Now I would assume it'd probably be made of like silicone or something like that. Because we've, moved on as far as stuff goes. It's interesting because a lot of these are similar in shape. So, okay, well, that's good to know.
I would say, in my opinion, but I do have a lot of cast iron and stuff, the metal spoon's the move.
No, that's the problem, though, is a lot of times I'm using it in nonstick. So I need, although I'm not against, I like the idea of getting one that is a metal one for the cast iron.
Because that metal, you can fucking get in there.
Oh, I know. That's why I said I really like this spoon, because that most of the spoons you buy for the kitchen are just rounded.
Oh
yeah, and you just can't get that same cut through that you can. Like I can, like when veggies are in there and stuff, I can kind of, if I need to break them up and chop them a little bit, I can kind of use that and
fuck
still
them up.
Yeah, so it's very useful.
This is why I go back to my spatula that I love, because it's got beveled edges, so I can fuck shit up with it.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there's one from Pampered Chef, right? Well, that's a slotted one. I don't want a slotted one. Although I'm not gonna lie, if I'm, it's the right shape though. It's nylon. I don't know if I like that it's nylon though.
It looks sexy. It's got nylons on. Actually, nylons suck. Let's see your leg skin. What are you doing?
Well, yeah, probably.
You know what I'm saying?
I need to quit looking at these.
That's why Hooters sucks. Yeah. Your stupid tights.
Yep. I'm glad you did this, though, because I hadn't gone this far with things yet.
Oh, that's always my first move. What does the
It usually
Google
is,
have to say?
I don't know why I didn't, but now that I see there's so many, I'm for sure going to try the Google Lens and see if by chance the one I have comes up,
I mean,
because
if
otherwise I got to learn a new spoon,
it's a whole new technique. You got to go back to the dojo.
Yeah. I don't like the weight of this one. It is really good to know there's tons of different options, though.
Yeah, dude. When I go to certain kitchen stores, I look like one of those dudes at like the gun range. I'm like, let me see that one, checking the heft and the weight.
Yeah.
This one feels good in my hand.
With like knives, especially, I'm that way. Like, it's one of the things I hate about like when you go to buy knives at some places where they won't, like, they're all locked up, and you're like, I need to hold that knife in my hand. I need to sink it into someone's flesh to know if it's, what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that so much to ask?
Huh. Yeah, this Pampered Chef one actually looks really pretty close to what we.
You are a Pampered Chef, my guy.
It's true. I'm trying to think if I know anyone who does Pampered Chef shit now. I'm sure if I type it on Facebook, somebody I know is doing a party.
Exactly. Yeah, if not, some idiot out there has a ton of shit for sale anyway.
Right. Just be like, hey, order me like 19 of these.
Like, that'll be $400.
I need one that's not slotted, though. Just because sometimes I need one that's not slotted.
Just fill it with resin. It'd be all right.
Oh, yeah. Good point. What was I thinking?
Duh. All right, let's get off of spoons. Although I'm with you. Yeah. A good kitchen utensil makes me just feel good about life. Oh, wow. Walmart's got a 4-pack that's like 2 slotted and 2 non that are all metal. That's interesting. Anyway, all right. Yeah. I gotta look at this. I'm getting all randy and
now.
Next week on Spooncast.
Yeah. No, it's utensil cast. Like, I'm talking spoons, you're talking spatulas.
That's true.
Like, dude, I saw this spatula the other day.
Dude, fucking. I almost said embroidered.
An embroidered spatula.
Huh? That's the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
That's different.
Oh, man.
Man. So I saw this. I follow this account on Instagram called Charter Daily.
Okay.
And they show off a lot of stuff, with charts. That's kind of the whole point of it. And this one that came up the other day was for how the Match Group. Match Group is the company that owns pretty much every online dating service.
Oh, okay. All right.
And by that, I mean, I really do mean like every group. They own over 45 brands combined, which include Match, Hinge, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, and I believe they own Tinder also.
Jesus.
Right? So those are like the biggest dating sites, for over the years. So they're going to be raising the price on Hinge to $60 a month.
What?
Yeah, most of these, like right now, the top tier is $35 a month, which I'm not going to lie. Even when I was using dating sites all the time, I'd always look because, all of them have this, you got to match, upgrade to see who it is. And you can't see shit unless you upgrade.
Well, of course.
Right? Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm not doing this. And because it's like $20 to $30 a month for most of them. It's like, that is insane.
$60 a month.
Yeah. $720 a year for a dating site.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I've seen commercials on Hulu for that Hinge. Yeah. It's like the only app that's designed to be deleted or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the funny part. A lot of times once you start dating someone, a lot of people will delete the dating apps, right? But what happens when you're no longer dating that person?
Well,
you reinstall the app,
exactly.
Right? So they're all technically designed to be deleted. But even though it's not, like there's all sorts of things out there about, we've talked on this before about how realistically dating sites don't want you to find success. That's why a lot of times they don't match you with actual optimal matches. They rate you. There's been talk, proof in the past that some of them like literally rated you on a scale of like ABC, and you would only really get to see people who were in your group. Like they literally put you in a league.
That's pretty shitty.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes. And the more attractive they deem you, the more options you have, Which, listen, that's the truth. That's the real truth of things. The more attractive you are as a person, you probably are going to have more options, right? Or more people coming after you. But it's still shitty that they do that. It should just be that it's trying to help everybody get as many eyes on them as possible.
Yeah.
The concept of online dating is cast wider nets.
Yeah, it's like,
right?
you think that they would allow the people to determine if they're attractive to that person and not some sort of stupid algorithm.
Right. Incorrect. So, and it wouldn't shock me if there's a fucking door, like, or something. Like, it could be that that's the case when you pay for the upgraded service. You know, like maybe it goes, oh, you're a C, so we're going to just show you C people. And then basically, if you unlock the next level up, we'll show you B and A, you know, kind of a thing. It wouldn't shock me if that's the case.
Boy,
either.
that would be
like
awfully shitty, but that sounds like business.
Right? Doesn't it? Yeah. Now, where is it? I'm trying to find the thing. Match last year, or wait, what is this for? Look in here. I can't see the year. Shit. Match Group made nearly $3 billion in revenue.
We're in the wrong business.
Right?
$3 billion?
Isn't that insane? $3 billion in revenue. Yeah. In 2021, Tinder swipers coughed up nearly $1.7 billion to the app, which, you know, outperformed all the rest, which isn't surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That is insane to me.
Yeah. Only 2% of Match's revenue came from advertising. Most of it comes directly from paying users.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I never would have guessed.
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
It really is to me. That's crazy to me.
Like this. Yeah, I'll include the link to this like chart if people want to look at it and stuff, because it has a little breakdown of where their monies come from and stuff. It's absolutely crazy. But I mean, again, you know, they do own 45 different brands.
Oops.
And like I said, I didn't realize for a long time, because there are people like, well, I don't use Match because it sucks, so I use Plenty of Fish. And then you realize it's like, oh, they're all owned by the same people. Now there are differences in them, of course, you know, but they're all owned by the same people. So you're just putting the money in the same pocket no matter
right,
what.
Exactly. It's all going to the same till.
Yeah. But yeah, there's been some real shady shit that's come out about like Plenty of Fish and Match and what's the other one? OkCupid over the years, and Tinder too. But it's just, you know, it's just sad because really, you know, you see just like anything that says, you know, any weight loss app or whatever that says, we care about you. It's like, then why are you charging $50 or $100 a month?
Yeah, exactly. Help me.
If you really care about helping people lose weight, charge $10 a month or nothing, you know, fine. Just put tons of ads in there and then maybe upcharge if I don't want ads, you know. But that's not the case. It's like, no, you want to charge me a shit ton of money. Like Noom is a good example that it's been advertised all over the place right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, it works. It's great. We really care, blah, blah, but it's not. It's like $20 or $30 a month.
Yeah.
You know, it's expensive. And now I guess if you compare it to a gym membership or something, but it's like, but odds are on most of these things, you're also going to want to get a gym membership.
I mean, you know, I've never been there, but I know Planet Fitness is like $10 a month.
Exactly. Yeah. See what I mean? It's like that's kind of my point with these. It's like anything that pretends that it cares about you is just bullshit. It's, you know, it's
except
about
the Salty Language podcast. We care about you.
Right. We also care about your money.
Also, check out our Patreon.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just mind blowing when I saw those numbers, and just the fact that they're going to introduce. And now I don't know. It doesn't say if they're going to introduce like a $60 tier and still keep the $35 tier, or if that $35 tier is just going to go. The one upside to paying that much money is typically when you're paying that much money, from what I've seen and heard from people, it weeds out a lot of the real assholes or the like scumbags.
Right.
Because the scumbags don't want to pay for the app.
I mean, I guess if it's one of those things where you're like, I want to find somebody, I'm at my wit's end. Everyone still, you know, isn't super comfortable going out. A lot of people aren't.
Yeah, right.
I'm just going to throw down some money for a month or two and see what happens.
Yeah,
I guess I could see that, but I also know, I guarantee, I mean, I'm sure there's like a Tinder premium or something. And
there is.
that's basically, maybe I'm wrong. That's basically just for hookups, though. Check.
I don't think it is as much as it used to be, but yeah, it probably still
Yeah.
is. You know?
So I think
I think
that's two
people,
different animals.
yeah, that for sure could be.
But
That's the thing. That's why I said each one of the apps is a little different, right? And like Bumble's not included in this because Bumble is not owned by Match Group. Bumble's the one where women have to make the first move. Um, so that's where it's vastly different. And I really thought over time Bumble would basically become like the default because so I figured women would just be like, I want to go to this because I'm tired of all these asshole guys. Like if I see someone I like, then then I was discounting the fact that there's still a lot of women who don't like making the first move,
right.
like sending the first message or whatever. But the thing that always frustrated me with them is how many of them are like, you've got all these likes and all this, and it's like, click here to see, and you don't even get to see who it is, you know and it's like, or if you do, like Plenty of Fish, you could see like a little thumbnail. So the trick on that apparently was you screenshot with your phone and then you could zoom in and see what the picture looked like, because you can't click on it and go to their profile. They used to have it that way, but they put it all behind a paywall.
Wow, that's weird. Not at all.
Yeah, right. So when I first was using these, that was what I hated about Match, was basically you couldn't do anything unless you were a premium user.
Right.
Like you could like people and that was it. You couldn't see if anyone liked you. You couldn't contact anyone, nothing. You couldn't do any of it. It was all behind a paywall. And they've since changed that, but there's still, all the stuff you really want to be able to do is still all behind a paywall.
Yeah, dick pics right behind a paywall.
Right. Well, like if it says so-and-so liked you and you're like, oh, cool. You can't go back and look to see if you like them and maybe start a conversation with them, because you have to be a premium user to do that.
Weird.
And it's like, yeah, that right there shows they don't give a shit about matching you. They only care about the
Boy,
money.
that sounds predatory.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why I said
it's like, psst, so-and-so likes you. Who? Give me your lunch money.
Right. Well, I remember one time Bumble offered a free week of premium, right? Or no, it wasn't a week. It was like 48 hours or something like that, right? So I was like, okay, and I'm constantly getting you got all these people liking you. It was crazy in that 48 hours, not one like.
Oh. Huh.
So apparently for 48 hours, I was totally unlikable. But darned if you wouldn't know it, the very next day I got 2 likes.
Wow, that's weird.
Now, there is always, of course, potentially, that could be how it is. But it also looks super sus.
Yeah, it certainly does seem suspect to me.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, are there really people liking me, or is this just your lies to try to get me to pay for premium?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
are you fucking with my serotonin levels, sir?
Yes. So anyway,
that's pretty annoying.
That, right? It's so silly. I feel so bad for people who, constantly are playing the game, because it's so geared to not do what it says it's geared to do.
Right.
I think if you go into it knowing that, it helps. But, if you're really going, I'm going to meet my soulmate, and it's like, yeah, you're probably not.
I'm going to find love on Farmers Only.
Yeah. Oh, dude. They've got a reality show coming out that literally is Farmers Only, but
are you shitting me?
Show.
What's it called?
It's like,
Let's Go Plow Them Fields.
Shit. Oh, I don't remember what it's called.
Take my seed in the morning.
Basically, yeah. But it's farmers, and and it's like 4 farmers, and then like the women are trying to match up with one of the farmers, which of course is going to create drama, because at some point 2 guys are going to like the same girl or something like that, But
so they decided to just do a wobbly H.
Yep. Yeah, buddy.
Call that the cattle fence.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah.
All All right, so what you're saying, Brian, is we need to get into the dating app game.
Yeah, sure. We 100%
What if we
do.
could match podcast listeners, not like our show, but just as shows in general?
You know, it wouldn't shock me if somebody's already doing that. There are a lot of niche dating apps or have been over the years. I remember some that was one that was like for just World of Warcraft users. One was for comic book fans.
Oh boy.
One was for just geeks in general. I can't remember. I know I've seen a bunch like that though. You know, I mean, then there's also ones that are functional in being niche. Also, like one that's for people who have herpes, to find other people who have herpes, so that they're not potentially spreading it.
What was it called, like bump rubbers?
Yeah, probably. There's one, I believe, or there was one for like HIV positive people, and so there's some that are like, well, these are good services. I saw one the other day that was what was it? It's called like Swirl or something like that. And in the commercial, it showed like a black guy and then a white woman, and I'm like, oh, please tell me this is not for like interracial dating, because this is a terrible name for this.
Yeah, I made that mistake once.
And it's not. It's actually for like single parents or something like that, or Stir. That's what it's called.
Oh,
I believe it's called Stir, not Swirl. Swirl would have been way worse.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, Stir is okay. Yep, single parent dating is what it's for.
Single parent dating. Why don't they just call it SPD?
Because that sounds like something you would give someone else.
That belongs on Rub Bump Uglies or whatever, because that bump rubbers.
Right.
Rash Rangers.
Yes, that's a good one. I like that one. Rash Rangers.
Yeah, is there a dating service for people with dead toes?
Oddly enough, you're the only one on it.
Hello.
Every day, just no matches. Oh,
good times.
Yep. Your username on there is Dead Tony. Like toe.
Exactly. TOE-Y.
Right. Yep. Dead Tony. Like, I got the best name on this
Hell
site.
yeah.
No one else
First.
Oh man.
Oh, that's perfect. I love it.
That'd be pretty. Actually, that'd be a great dating profile. Just Dead Tony and just pictures of your toe.
Yeah, just the toe in different locales, like the toe at the beach.
Right, little hat on it.
Toe at the coffee bar.
Right.
Perfect.
Working on it screenplay.
Oh hell yeah!
Mm-hmm.
You know it.
That'd be fantastic. Fantastic. I don't think it'd be fantastic, but
dude, that's the greatest name for a fucking pan store I've ever heard in my life.
Fantastic. Yeah. It was like I remember we went to Indy for Gen Con the one year. I saw there was a tanning place called Tanfastic, and I was like, that's a great
that's pretty
name.
good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's not as good as Pantastic.
No, Pantastic's way better.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it.
You make your employees say have a fantastic day to everyone leaving.
Oh boy.
Slowly killing them on the inside every time they say it.
Anytime a customer's like, well, how are you doing today?
Fantastic, sir.
Fantastic. Yeah.
How can we help you have a fantastic day? Oh, just like I said, just a little piece of you dying every time you say it. We help make your fantasies come true. It's just nothing but horrible
just
nothing.
Nothing
like but. When you go into Shoe Carnival and there's always the managers on the loudspeaker or on the thing talking, and they have the wheel game and everything there. Like that's basically the job of one of the employees, is they just have to occasionally do a read with a terrible
just a horrible one.
Yeah. Just by the end of your 8 hours, you're just like, it's a good thing there's no gun around.
It's funny you bring up Shoe Carnival, because I haven't bought shoes from Shoe Carnival in a very long time.
Yeah, I never have. I've been in there a few times, but I've never bought anything. I got hired there.
Oh, did you? I didn't even. You were a carny. You're going to be a carny.
I was gonna be, because that's exactly, I was hired for assistant manager or whatever, and that would have been my job. Is that every hour on the hour you gotta do, and then I was like, I would want to kill myself after about 2 days
Hey,
of this.
fuckos, you like shoes?
Right.
I'm ready to go in the back room and hang myself with these laces.
Yeah, I went in there a few times, like before I would have started, and I just watched the managers and what they have to do, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is not me.
If I have to spin this wheel one more time, I'm going to airwalk off a cliff.
Now that would have been more my speed. But.
No, I haven't bought shoes there in a very, very, very long time.
Right.
Very long time. So... Guess who started fucking emailing me out of the blue? Like, why am I haven't been there in forever.
Probably happened when Peanut's account got hacked.
Probably. It was a shoe carnival the whole time.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, he can't. He just loves the Kearney that works there. He just can't get enough. He goes in trying to win shoes all the time.
Hell yeah!
Like, sir, you can only get one spin an hour.
Like, oh,
my watch says it's been. Like, sir, by my watch, it's only been 58 minutes. You have to wait another 2 minutes.
Do they still make Spalding shoes?
I don't know.
Because you could get hired in a shoe carnival and be Captain Spaulding. Just terrify all the children as a demonic evil clown.
That would be all right. I mean, no, it was like, at the time it was, I'm walking around and they were like, you'll have to do help with budgets and labor and blah blah blah, and you may have to jump on a register occasionally, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fine, I've done all this stuff, and then when the guy was like, and then they're like, and I'm like, oh god, I'm like, I just don't want to do that, and he goes, well, actually, and I was like, oh, this is the job, basically, like once an hour I have to put on the radio voice basically, and give away a discount coupon or something, which, it's not that I'd mind it that much, but also, there's going to be days where you're just like,
yeah, you're just going to be like, it's like, wee. Hey there, white trash idiots. You need a pair of off-beat fucking Vans or some dumb shit? Come spin the wheel, you losers. This has never been disinfected.
Yeah, who wants at least 10% off of a pair of shoes?
You want to be a spectacle and spin the wheel?
I hate corporations that think that stuff is fun.
Oh,
yeah. It's like, yeah, sure, who doesn't like getting a discount, for a pair of shoes? I mean, if I'm in there and they were like, hey, do you want to spin the wheel? I'm like, yeah, why not? But it's, it's like, it's so... It just, you have to have like the right employee to do that.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, it's just soul crushing
for sure
over time.
Like, have you seen our George W. Bush dunk tank? You sit here and they throw shoes at you.
That would be fun. Like, please hit me in the head with that really heavy steel toe.
Yeah, exactly. Go grab those work boots. Aim for my temple.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
In fact, it's like, here, just walk up closer. Just overhand as hard as you can. Go next door to Fantastic and get a band.
Yeah, I could not do the shoe carny. Which if I ever, which I probably never will, but if I ever go to shoe carnival again, all the employees are now carnies. 100%. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's how I'd refer to them if I was working there. I'd be calling everybody carnies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it would be kind of funny to be the manager, and when you have someone come in interviewing for a job, just dress up like some sort of like ringmaster. Like, you want to join the carnival, do you? Twirling your mustache.
I will say that at least they don't make their employees dress up in anything ridiculous.
Well, back then, who knows now?
Well, true. But, keep in mind, though, I was fresh off of working at a place where, basically, well, not fresh off. where I had, worked in a place where I had to wear, a tuxedo shirt and a cummerbund and a bow tie for renting videos.
Oh, I thought that was a
So,
Chippendale stunt.
yeah, well, that too. Yeah. Luckily, I had the costume from one, and it just
Oh, that's
translated to the
perfect.
other. It was fantastic. The tearaway pants were those were a no-no for the video store.
Dude, if you get hot, you got to tear them off.
Listen, that's what I said too, but apparently, they didn't like that idea, so whatever. I was making crazy tips before that, but
whatever, dude. Whatever.
No, ruining my weekends. Like, listen, if you want me here on Fridays, I got to be able to tear the pants off. I got bills.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I got to go work the other.
It's a seam rip Friday, buddy.
Yep. That's why I saw they have a new Magic Mike movie coming out, and I was like, God, I wish that the last. Yeah, I think it's the last one, the last one with Channing Tatum. It wouldn't shock me if they keep making them because they make a lot of money.
Fair enough.
But I think what would be hilarious, because it's called Magic Mike's Last Dance, it would be so funny if his last dance was just him doing a shot for shot of Chris Farley's, like, Chippendales routine.
That would be hilarious.
That's his last one. Like, fuck it, I'm going out this way.
I like it.
Although it wouldn't be as good.
No. So, unless he gained a lot of weight. Then it's hilarious.
I don't think he's going to do that. But
what kind of actor is he?
Yeah. I don't know. Doing that routine might still be kind of funny, watching him try to flail around like Farley did. But that would be the right way to go for sure.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think it's funny that they've got Salma Hayek in that franchise also. And I was like, they had to have put her in there in hopes of, so that the guys will want to go to it also.
Well, I mean, big Latina titties.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was like, oh, yeah. Because it's like, for the most part, it's like you really, as a guy, I'm just looking at this going, I couldn't give two shits about that. And then you see Selma Hayek dancing around a little bit, and you're like, all right, maybe it's not
maybe
bad,
when it comes to streaming.
Yeah.
I mean,
or you could just go back and watch oh god, my mind
Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah.
Sizzle.
Speaking of movies that changed boys into men,
Transformers the movie, soul crushing.
No. Last week, I think it was on AMC or something like that. Dude, they had Fast Times at Ridgemont High on like every day.
But they didn't have titty scene on there.
No, they have part of the titty scene, but no titties. So,
the scene that like every VHS was like, skip that because people just pause it there.
Yeah. Yep. It was just funny because we were watching it, and I see her, she dives into the water, and then she gets up and goes to unhitch the bathing suit top, and then it immediately goes to like the next scene basically, and I was like, oh,
did they walk in on Judge when he was jacking? Doesn't anybody knock?
Yeah, they definitely showed that. Yeah, because that's her when she comes in or she finally gets out of the pool. Because it's funny because they show like it's one of my favorite parts of the movie. I mean, not because of titties, but just how when he sees her diving into the water, it's all bam, 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 and all sexual and everything. And then when she gets out, she's basically like, oh, I got water in my ear, and like snot rockets or whatever. And then she, like as awkward as can be, basically getting out of the water.
It is pretty damn funny.
And then, of course, doesn't anybody knock? I'm relaxing in here.
That would be for sure. If you got that fucking shoe carnival job, have some pride.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't watched Fast Times in a long time.
Dude, like,
does it hold up?
I haven't either. It kind of does. I mean, obviously it's super dated,
for sure.
But I think it'll hold up for like our generation because we can remember kind of, I mean, even though it really is more for like our older siblings, like we're a little young for that market, but it was still like, you still kind of remember how life felt that way then. But watching, what's his name? Judge Reinhold at the, when he's at work and the guy's going to put him on, was it the fryer or whatever? And he starts like taking off his costume, and the guy's like, "What are you doing? You took off your costume." Like it's the most serious offense
Right.
ever. Like it's like, well, I just thought I could wear street clothes while I was, or Spicoli when he orders the pizza in the classroom,
Classic.
and then the teacher puts it up front for everyone to share.
Yeah, that's a movie I've not seen in a long time.
I didn't end up watching all of it, like, because each time it was already well into the movie, kind of when I jumped into it. So but it was, but still, kind of a good reminder. Because like I haven't watched that in so long.
Right.
Like God, it's probably been 15, 20 years since I've seen that movie. It's one of those, like, every once in a while I would watch because it would be on TV somewhere, and that's basically it. So
yeah, Comedy Central or someone would show it.
Yeah, exactly. So
back when cable channels were a thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if it was on late enough, you might have had a shot at some titties on.
Yeah, that's true.
But not on AMC at like the middle of the day. No.
AMC, American Memory Classics. No,
nope.
Okay.
Memory Sensors.
That's what we're both stretching here.
Yeah.
Does anybody know?
Well, there were a lot of people stretching during that movie when it came out. I said that's one of those movies that made a lot of boys into men.
You are not wrong.
That and when she's sitting on the motorized horse or whatever
the
it is,
bowl or whatever,
or something. Yeah, whatever. Can't remember. Anyway.
Classic.
Yep. All right. Well, we should probably move into the Q of the W.
Is that time already, Brian?
It is.
Holy shit. Well, last week, make sure we got a new notification. Make sure someone else didn't answer. Okay. Last week, we asked you guys, what is something people can never understand unless they personally experience it? Instagram, letting us down again, Brian.
Yeah.
Fucking big negative. That's okay, though.
Yep.
Because over here on the face page, we got our Diamond top fan, Diamond Dev. He says micro penis.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, which way are we experiencing this? Just leave it at that.
I don't know.
Kiki, she says an enema.
Oh my.
I mean, we've all had hot tuna before. Clean you right out. And then I don't recall seeing this person before. Kristen Vanderhei.
Oh yeah, it's someone I know from Twitter.
Very nice. She says anxiety.
Yeah, it's interesting with anxiety because everybody has it, but a lot of people don't realize that it's full on anxiety. They just think like they're a little nervous, right? And there is a difference between some anxieties and nervousness, but it's like everyone experiences anxiety. But the level or the length at which you experience it can vary and such. But having anxiety attacks and stuff like that's where it really,
that's where it's a bummer.
People can't understand. Yeah, you just can't understand those unless you've been in, because it is like the most severe form of fight or flight, and even then a lot of us have experienced it, but we don't think about it or know really what it is. Like the people who go through it all the time have generally like, hey, why do I feel like X all the time?
Right.
And it's simple because X gonna give it to you.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Really quick, speaking of, I forgot I was gonna pull this for a shut up and take my money, but they're making DMX pops.
I mean, that's pretty sweet.
So I mean, X gonna give it to you. But yeah, that's still a good answer though. It like I said that last week. Like any of the invisible illnesses, are just really tough for anyone to fully understand unless you go through it too.
Right,
so
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I got, bro.
What? Yeah. All right. Well, I got Cheeto's answer, and he says, Trying not to get too deep here, but having and living through / recovering from a life-threatening illness. Being diagnosed with something potentially terminal is not only hard on the patient, but also their family. The treatment period without knowing if it's going to be 100% effective is also very difficult. I tell you, boys, it can change your perspective on things, and no one has any idea what it's like until they've gone through it. And he's 100% right. I've not gone through it myself, but I have been on the other side he mentions, which is the family of someone who has, as well as you. You know, we both have gone through, you know, I went through cancer with both of my parents to where they came through it. You know, I went through a triple bypass with my dad, and then my dad got cancer again, and that time it was terminal, unfortunately. So, you know, I've seen this side of it more than I'd like to.
Yeah, for sure, right?
You know, but he's right. It really does change you because you see how quick something can take away someone's livelihood, just their, you know, who they are as a person, and just boom, and they're just a shell of who they were or whatever. So, and that's even if they make it through, you know, like watching someone go through chemo and radiation is fucking brutal.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, watching my dad basically not be able to get out of a chair for a while, you know, and that was the one he overcame, you know. So yeah, you're totally right on that one, Cheeto. That's one that people sympathize with because they've seen movies and TV shows, but it's going through it legit is not anything like TV shows and movies. Right. So enough that, you know, like Spurlers, you know, anyone who's gonna watch Big Fish, you know, oof, boy,
that'll get you.
Oh man, did that movie wreck me because of the scene with him taking care of his dad, because that was pretty realistic as far as my experience. But yeah, so yeah, good answer, Cheeto. That's all we got for that, I think. Yeah,
fair enough.
I didn't see any on Twitter. So all right, 1 through 5, because I really got to get some
let's go 2.
Yeah. Whoa, what did I just do? Oh, damn side button on my mouse. All right. You were born 300 years ago. What is your profession? So that would be in 1723?
300 years ago, what is my profession?
Yeah.
Boy.
Thing comes up here.
I'm going to have to be a pub owner. Like a
what?
Pub owner.
Oh, you know? Okay. That's a good answer.
Because I like food. I like drinks.
Yeah. It's a good answer, I think.
I'll be one of those people from Monty Python Holy Grail just moving mud.
I feel like that's probably more appropriate. I just feel like that's where we would have met. Mud's pretty good today.
I didn't vote for you.
Yeah. Oh man, just talking over the merits of good mud or wet mud versus dry mud, and good mud versus bad. Over a pint at the pub after our shift was over.
I love it.
Getting arrested for stealing from your employer because you're covered in mud when you leave. Where do you think you're going with all that mud?
Like, you know, the mud black market.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Obviously, right. Oh, man. I was just looking to see online if anything would come up for, like, you know, top profession or anything like that, but I don't see anything. Yeah. I really wish I had a better answer, but I really feel like your mud mover is probably the legit answer, because there probably weren't a ton of professions, and I just feel like we would have been plebes in those days. So, you know,
well,
we would have been like moving horse shit or mud, something like that.
I have a new angle on our QofheW.
All right.
Is I'm going to start asking the chat OpenAI bot.
Okay.
So I asked it, and it gave me basically a paragraph here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It said, it is difficult to say for certain what my profession would be if I were born 300 years ago, as it would depend on a variety of factors, such as my family's social status and wealth, Mo had abilities and interests in the economic and technological developments of the time. However, some common professions for people in the 1700s might include farming, crafts such as blacksmithing or weaving, or working in a trade such as carpentry or printing. If I were born into a wealthy family, I might have been educated or trained for a profession such as law or medicine.
Wow. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, they didn't really. Just gonna put, well, thanks for nothing.
It's funny. I listened to, there's a podcast called
Yeah.
Mortified, where people find like old diaries that they wrote when they were like teenagers, and then they go in front of a crowd and read the diaries.
Wow.
Right?
I just think I just hurt this thing's feelings.
You probably
It's
did.
apologizing.
And on the newest episode of it, like, unfortunately, the podcast is going on a hiatus. But before they did, they actually asked the chatbot, like the AI thing, to write like a journal entry. And the one it wrote is like heartbreaking and like sounds like a real episode of the show, basically.
Oh, wow. That's insane.
It did a really good job. Like the two guys who run the show were, very much like, whoa, I can't believe this did, this well. I did find apparently common jobs in the early 1700s
Is mud moving on
were apothecary, no, apothecary, blacksmith, cabinet maker, a chandler, which is a candle maker, a cobbler, which is a person who makes cobbler.
Delicious.
That's a shoemaker. A cooper, which is funny because it doesn't describe what a cooper is. Do you know
They
what a
make
cooper
barrels.
is? Yes,
Yeah.
you're correct. They do. I didn't know that. Gunsmith, milliner, who is the person who owns a local clothing store, in case anyone didn't know. Printer, tailor, wheelwright, and wig maker. But unfortunately, mud mover, not one of the most common.
Son of a bitch.
Well, maybe we'd make great money because we'd be two of the few mud movers.
It's true. We get it at the ground floor.
Yeah.
So stupid. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. So there you go. I know it's not one of the best ones. I'm actually kind of glad this one kind of hung around until like we're, running real low. So there you go. Geez,
No.
right there. All right. Well, at least I appreciate that you at least stick around to the end of the show.
Yeah, I try. I try,
So once again, the question is, you were born 300 years ago. What's your profession? So, although I guess really, if you want the time frame, it would be 720 or 1723. But if you were born 300 years ago, that would probably mean you'd also have to add, 14 or so 15 years to it.
Fair enough.
To actually be of working age, to be moving mud.
To be moving mud.
Yeah.
Just a couple of mud movers.
Just a couple of guys moving mud. Hilarious. So Sue says in the chat, she says that I'd be an artist since they existed in the 1700s.
Accurate.
She says town streaker. Which I appreciate that that's a profession.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't either. I always thought people did that of their own free will.
My neighbors seem to hate it, so no.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, wherever she's living sounds like the place to live if they're, they have a paid town street.
True. It's true.
Yep. Hey, why aren't you nude?
It's my day off. Oh, okay.
Get back out there. Fine. Play wacky sax as the cops chase you around. It's just a performance piece,
Wait, wacky sax? Is that just the sound of the sax slapping around?
Probably at that time, yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. She also says pioneers of mud wrestling. That would be our bosses. We just move the mud.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We're not even allowed to.
Yeah, we're not mud foremen yet.
Right. We're only allowed in the events to replenish the mud between rounds.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're not high enough class to get into the mud wrestling.
No, absolutely not.
No. Oh man. All right. Well, there you go. That's show proper. Stick around for a few minutes if you want to hear the curse word of the week. And yeah, in the meantime, head on over to saltylanguage.com, check out the past episodes. You can find a link there for the network that we're part of, which is Tangent Bound Network, which can be found at tangentboundnetwork.com. If you're a show looking for a network or just getting a show started, hit them up. And if you talk to Mark, tell him that Tony and I could use another mud mover.
I know, right? We've been moving mud for years for the Tangent Bound Network.
Yeah, that's right. I just feel like, you know how there's those sayings of like chop wood, carry water. For us, it's just keep moving mud.
Yeah, for sure.
That's our Zen phrase. Keep moving mud. Oh shit.
We need to put out some like WWMMD bracelets. What would mud movers do?
What would mud movers do? You know what they would do?
Yeah, keep moving mud. It's like
mud.
Dory's keep swimming just with mud. Oh shit.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yep. So yeah.
Fat fingers over here. Keep hitting the wrong button.
Oh, well, I'm glad you had that to say because I completely blanked on where I was.
Right. You're...
Oh, if you want to reach out to us on social media, you can find us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at StuNami.
You can find me on Instagram at the Monotony. Mm-hmm. And you can find me, Brian. Actually, I have a plug change. Despite the fact that Besotted Geek, thank you, by the way, followed me on Twitch recently, I'm abandoning Twitch.
What?
I know, Brian. I just told you to get on Twitch, but here's why.
You son of a...
I read a thing that was like, hey, if you want to be like, do good on Twitch, you got to do a lot of social media. And I'm like, I hate social media. And they're like, if you just want to put out content and hope people watch it, do YouTube. I'm like, perfect. And I already have all the beers on YouTube locked in. So I'm going to be going all the beers on YouTube, my guys.
Son of a bitch. So now I got to switch to YouTube.
You don't have to. You can do whatever you want.
No, it'd actually probably be easier.
Yeah,
anyway.
fair enough.
Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing on Twitch.
Same.
YouTube, I know a little bit of what I'm doing, so at least I have that step.
Exactly.
I need an intern to do all this stuff.
We need interns. We need young folk to move our mud.
Yeah, you're right. Why are we still moving our own mud? That sounds...
We're too old and dumb.
Yeah, damn it. You're right.
Anywho, check out the show on YouTube if you're watching this. Obviously, if you're not, check us out, Salty Language Pod. If you are watching, give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Hit that little fucking bell. Make a comment. Whatever. Check us out on TikTok at Salty Language for nonsense. And if you're feeling frisky, go to patreon.com/saltylanguage. Throw your boys some shekels. Check out the nice long video we did about the Pornhub 2022 stats. Hell, pay us a little bit of money for a month, watch whatever's on there, and get the fuck out. Do whatever you want. Yeah, it's all craziness. Speaking of craziness, Brian, what's your side gig?
What? I don't know. No, it's a podcast called The Crazy Life with me, Heno, and Jen, where we talk about mental health and just trying to be happier, more centered people. Not even really happier, but just, more content, I guess is the better word. So yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, give us a listen. Oh. You can find it wherever you found this show or whatever. Links on the website also, saltylanguage.com. Yep. All right. So now that we got all the plugs and stuff out of the way, I guess it's time for the curse word of the week. I got to find the stupid link. There it is. It's weird. Like the last couple of these, there's one of these that feels like an
if it's mud movers, I'm going to be very offended.
That would be so funny if it was. God, I wish it was. No, it's this one is Rake Fire.
Rake Fire? That sounds like a sick fucking band.
I know, right? That's what if I had the gumption to do graphic design shit, it would be fun to go through and do a bunch of these words with like metal.
Oh, like the
fonts,
like
because a lot of them would look pretty cool.
Death metal font and shit.
Yeah. But Rake Fire is one who overstays their welcome. The term itself comes from the person who stays late and keeps the fire going, even though their host wants them to leave.
That's kind of an interesting name.
Yeah, it's the old, someone who doesn't know when the party's over, basically.
Right.
everyone around you's falling asleep trying to go to bed, and you're just like, hey, let's put a
Dude, let's
movie
put
on.
our fucking log on this Barbie. Like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, dude, it's 3 a.m. We're out of beer. Go back to your hotel.
I'll go get some more.
I'm sorry, Cheeto.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's wake your wife up.
Yeah, so she can take us home.
Yeah. So yeah. So I said this one doesn't feel as much like an insult, you know. I actually feel like it's, you know, an upgrade of a name. I don't know what the other term for that is, but you know.
I mean, I just kind of like the name Rakefire because they're like, let's get this fucker going again.
You know what it reminds me of is a Transformers character.
Yes.
It really feels
like if they put out a line of garden tools that transformed into robots.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a
Rakefire, Hobot.
Hobot.
Shovel Knight.
Whoa. I think Hobot was on Futurama. I think Bender was seen with her a few times. No, it's actually Hookerbot. That's what it was. Not Hobot. It was Hookerbot.
I like Hobot.
I do too. But I don't think that was going to pass the, what do you call it? The sensors.
It's a robot that's also a Hobot.
Yeah, it's a Hobot. Yep. Yeah. One last thing here before we move on out is I watched the new episode of Last of Us last night. And dude, the scenes, like if you're a person like me who never really did much with the games, afterwards look up the like shot by shot stuff is really interesting, and the way they do some of the camera work in there makes you feel like you're in the scene, which is very in the game kind of a thing.
Really? I haven't watched it yet.
You know, right. I mean, you know, the premise is it's basically essentially it's a zombie show, right? So there's scenes where they like come running at you and you see it first person.
Oh, that's interesting.
Rather than seeing it in third person or something like that. It's really cool. You know how there's been plenty of games where you're looking first person and something runs at you and scares the shit out of you, right? It's really cool that it has that video game feel to it at times.
Not like the Doom movie.
Yeah.
What first person mode?
Shit.
Yeah. That's probably actually the highlight of the movie.
You're probably right. That movie was so bad.
It did have The Rock in it.
Oh, yeah. What a terrible
movie. That was
movie.
before he was America's sweetheart. He was still trying to figure out who he was in Hollywood. Yeah.
Right. Instead of realizing he should just be The Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty much what he does in all his movies.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Except for Be Cool. Unless The Rock's low-key gay, then.
Low-T? Oh, man.
Yeah. He's definitely not low-T.
I was going to say, I'm not making accusations, but I highly doubt he's low-T.
I think he's got a medicine cabinet full of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's the show for this week. So until next week, have a beer. You'll be fine.
Oh, stay scratchy. I don't know. Stay muddy.
I mean, you could have just said keep moving mud. I mean, it was right there.
You're right. I fucked up. Let down my clan.
Yeah. Yeah.